My dear brothers and sisters, every home is meant to be a sanctuary, a place of peace, safety, and sustenance. Yet sometimes the very spaces where we seek comfort can harbor hidden financial traps. These are not always obvious, they do not announce themselves, but their effects can quietly erode wealth, create stress, and reduce the barakah Allah intended for our households. Wealth in Islam is not merely a number in a bank account, it is a blessing from Allah, a trust and a test. The Quran reminds us, and know that your wealth and your children are but a trial and that Allah has with him a great reward. Surah Al-Anfal 8:28. Understanding this principle helps us recognize that guarding our wealth is part of fulfilling our responsibility as stewards of Allah's provision. There are 7 hidden money traps that many families encounter without realizing. The first trap is extravagance, spending excessively on what is unnecessary while neglecting essentials. It may appear harmless when justified as comfort or luxury, but repeated indulgence drains resources and prevents the cultivation of barakah. The second trap is neglecting debt. Small, manageable debts left unchecked can grow silently, leading to financial strain. The Quran advises careful management of debt and fear Allah that you may succeed. Surah Al-Baqarah 282, emphasizing mindfulness and accountability in all financial dealings. The third trap is wastefulness, food, electricity, water, or household goods discarded or used excessively. Such waste is not only an economic loss but also a spiritual concern, for Allah reminds us of the importance of moderation, eat and drink, but waste not by extravagance. Surah Al-Araf 7:31. The fourth trap is lack of transparency and organization. Bills, receipts, and finances left unmanaged create confusion, missed opportunities, and hidden losses. The fifth trap is ignoring investments or savings, leaving wealth stagnant without planning or preparation for the future. The sixth trap is household disputes related to money. Conflict over finances can create tension, lead to impulsive decisions, and result in financial mismanagement. Peaceful communication, joint planning, and consultation are essential to prevent these pitfalls. The seventh trap is failure to recognize and act upon signs from Allah, divine reminders, sudden opportunities, or inspirations to make wise financial decisions. Sometimes a simple shift, like paying off a small debt immediately or reorganizing the home to prevent waste, can lead to significant blessings and protection. Ignoring these traps can have serious consequences. Financial strain brings stress, tension, and difficulty in fulfilling obligations. Unchecked wastefulness reduces barakah, making even earned money insufficient for needs. Debts left unmanaged grow silently, creating a burden that affects not only individuals but entire families. The Quran emphasizes the need for vigilance. Do not consume one another's wealth unjustly or send it in bribery to the rulers in order that they might aid you to wrongfully take a portion of the wealth of the people. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:188. Spiritual and practical awareness are necessary to safeguard wealth and ensure that Allah's blessings are preserved in the home. Allah sends signs and guidance for those who pay attention. Sometimes these are subtle, an unexpected expense that prompts budgeting, a sudden insight into organizing resources, or advice from a trusted friend or family member. By being mindful and receptive, believers can act to prevent hidden losses before they accumulate. The combination of awareness, reflection, and timely action creates a protective environment in the home, allowing the heart and household to flourish. Finally, trust and surrender are essential components. While effort, planning, and mindfulness are necessary, ultimate reliance must be on Allah. A home where wealth is managed with intention, debts are controlled, waste is minimized, and the family is aligned in planning becomes a space of barakah. Trusting Allah ensures that each action taken to protect finances is infused with purpose and faith, opening doors to blessings that may arrive unexpectedly, perfectly timed, and in ways beyond human calculation. Wealth in Islam is not merely a number in a bank account or the possessions we accumulate. It is a sacred trust from Allah, a blessing that carries responsibility and a test of our character, intentions, and mindfulness. The Quran reminds us repeatedly that wealth is both a favor and a trial, and know that your wealth and your children are but a trial and that Allah has with him a great reward. Surah Al-Anfal 8:28. This verse illustrates a profound principle. The way we acquire, manage, and utilize our wealth reflects our faith and our understanding of our role as stewards of Allah's provision. It is easy to become distracted by the material world, focusing only on accumulation or comfort, but Islam teaches that every blessing comes with accountability, and negligence can lead to spiritual, emotional, and financial harm. Understanding wealth also involves recognizing the sources of provision and the unseen systems through which Allah distributes sustenance. Often people assume that money comes solely through their own efforts, skills, or connections, yet Allah reminds us in the Qur'an, "And there is no creature on or within the earth, but that upon Allah is its provision." Surah Hud 11:6. This awareness cultivates humility and gratitude as it acknowledges that every penny, every opportunity, and every financial breakthrough is ultimately orchestrated by Allah. Recognizing this truth changes how we handle resources, prompting us to seek not only personal comfort but also ways to benefit family, community, and those in need, thereby increasing barakah in wealth and life. Responsibility is a key dimension of wealth in Islam. Managing finances is not merely about earning, it encompasses careful planning, avoiding extravagance, paying debts promptly, maintaining transparency, and using resources ethically. The Prophet ﷺ emphasized the importance of diligence and accountability in financial matters, teaching that negligence can lead to unnecessary hardship or injustice. Even simple practices such as tracking expenses, budgeting, and planning for unforeseen circumstances are acts of responsibility that reflect awareness of Allah's commands and alignment with spiritual guidance. These practices help prevent hidden losses and ensure that wealth serves its purpose as a blessing rather than becoming a source of stress or temptation. Another crucial aspect of understanding wealth is moderation. Islam encourages a balanced approach, avoiding both extreme deprivation and excessive indulgence. Eat and drink, but waste not by extravagance. Surah Allah 7:31 is a clear instruction that wealth should be enjoyed responsibly while remaining conscious of sustainability, gratitude, and the welfare of others. Extravagance not only drains resources but also diminishes the heart's appreciation for Allah's provision, fostering a sense of entitlement or carelessness. By cultivating moderation, a believer ensures that their home becomes a place of blessing, where resources are preserved, shared wisely, and aligned with spiritual principles. The home is the primary arena where these principles of wealth manifest. Hidden traps, if left unchecked, can undermine the blessings intended by Allah. Yet when a family approaches wealth with understanding, responsibility, and mindfulness, they create an environment conducive to barakah. Every decision about spending, saving, and sharing becomes an act of worship, an opportunity to strengthen faith, and a way to align life with divine guidance. Awareness of wealth as a trust also encourages proactive reflection, planning, and consultation, preventing small lapses from growing into significant losses and ensuring that the home remains a sanctuary of peace, security, and abundance. Finally, understanding wealth in Islam involves seeing beyond immediate gains. True financial well-being is not measured solely by accumulation or comfort, but by sustainability, ethical alignment, and spiritual harmony. A believer who approaches wealth with gratitude, accountability, and moderation creates a home where money serves its higher purpose, where barakah flows, and where Allah's blessings are multiplied through mindful stewardship. By internalizing this understanding, the heart becomes alert to potential pitfalls, the mind becomes disciplined in decision-making, and the family environment transforms into a space where wealth supports both worldly needs and spiritual growth. Many families are unaware that hidden money traps exist within the home, silently draining resources, creating stress, and reducing the barakah Allah's intended. The first trap is extravagance, spending excessively on what is unnecessary while neglecting both essential needs and charitable giving. Extravagance may appear harmless, justified as comfort or reward, but repeated indulgence depletes resources and diminishes gratitude, leaving the household vulnerable to financial strain. The Prophet ﷺ warned against wastefulness and emphasized moderation, teaching that the heart and home are protected when spending aligns with ethical and spiritual principles. The second trap is negligence of debt. Even small debts left unattended accumulate silently over time, becoming a burden that affects the family's financial stability and emotional peace. Islam strongly emphasizes managing debt responsibly as reflected in the Qur'an. And fear Allah, that you may succeed. Surah Allah 282, reminding believers that careful planning and accountability are essential to maintain financial health. A third trap is wastefulness, whether through discarded food, unnecessary utilities, or careless consumption of household resources. Waste is not only a material loss but a spiritual concern, as Allah instructs, eat and drink, but waste not by extravagance. Surah Allah 7:31. Every resource squandered is a missed opportunity for blessing, charity, and responsible stewardship. The fourth trap is lack of organization and transparency in household finances. Bills left unpaid, receipts ignored, and accounts unmanaged create confusion, missed payments, and hidden losses. Disorganization increases stress, prevents strategic planning, and allows small financial leaks to grow into significant burdens, diminishing both comfort and barakah. The fifth trap is ignoring investments or savings, leaving wealth stagnant without foresight or preparation for future needs. While Islam does not prohibit enjoying resources, it encourages responsible planning, prudent saving, and investment in beneficial avenues. Failure to do so results in missed opportunities for growth and protection against unexpected expenses. The sixth trap is household disputes over money. Conflicts around finances can lead to impulsive decisions, poor judgment, and emotional strain that affects both individual well-being and family harmony. Peaceful communication, joint planning, and consultation are essential to prevent these conflicts from escalating and causing financial damage. The seventh hidden trap is failure to recognize and act upon signs from Allah. Sometimes divine guidance comes in subtle forms: a sudden insight to adjust spending, a feeling of discomfort about a particular purchase, advice from a trusted relative, or an unexpected opportunity to save or invest. Ignoring these signs can result in preventable losses and missed blessings. Conversely, acting upon guidance in a timely manner cultivates barakah, aligns the household with divine wisdom, and protects wealth from unnecessary depletion. Awareness of these signals transforms ordinary decisions into acts of faith and responsibility. All seven traps share a common thread: they operate quietly and cumulatively, gradually affecting financial stability and spiritual well-being. Families often overlook them because the impact is not immediate or obvious, but over time, these patterns can create stress, tension, and a sense of insufficiency despite effort and earnings. By identifying and addressing each trap, a household can safeguard resources, create financial clarity, and cultivate an environment of abundance and blessing. Simple interventions such as budgeting, careful planning, minimizing waste, maintaining transparency, fostering communication, and acting on signs from Allah can prevent small leaks from becoming major challenges, ensuring that wealth serves its intended purpose in both worldly comfort and spiritual growth. Ignoring the hidden money traps in the home can have serious and lasting consequences that go beyond mere financial loss. These traps, while subtle, accumulate over time and can create stress, tension, and a sense of insufficiency even when income seems adequate. Extravagance, wastefulness, and disorganization slowly erode resources, leaving families feeling trapped in cycles of spending and scarcity. Neglected debts grow quietly, causing long-term financial pressure and emotional strain. Unchecked disputes about money can create conflict between spouses or family members, undermining harmony and cooperation in the household. The Qur'an emphasizes vigilance in all matters, including finances. Do not consume one another's wealth unjustly or send it in bribery to the rulers in order that they might aid you to wrongfully take a portion of the wealth of the people. Surah Allah, Barakah 2:188, reminding believers that neglect, dishonesty, or carelessness can have consequences not only in this life but also in the hereafter. When families ignore these warning signs, small financial leaks compound into larger problems. Wastefulness in food, utilities, or resources may seem minor, yet over months and years, the cumulative effect can be significant. Unplanned expenses, unpaid bills, and neglected savings create vulnerability to emergencies, sudden loss, or unexpected costs. Beyond the practical consequences, the spiritual dimension is also affected. Islam teaches that wealth carries barakah when it is managed responsibly, shared generously, and aligned with divine guidance. By neglecting financial stewardship, families risk losing not only stability but also the blessings that Allah intended for their home. Barakah in wealth allows it to stretch, multiply, and support a comfortable and peaceful household. Without it, even substantial earnings may feel insufficient. Financial negligence can also impact relationships and emotional well-being. Disputes over spending, mismanagement, or lack of communication create stress and tension that ripple through the household. Children observing such patterns may internalize unhealthy attitudes toward money, developing habits that replicate the same mistakes in the future. Even small repeated disagreements can gradually erode trust and create an environment where fear, anxiety, or frustration dominate daily interactions. Conversely, awareness and proactive management foster cooperation, mutual respect, and peace within the home, allowing wealth to serve as a means of comfort and stability rather than conflict. Another consequence is missed opportunities. Ignoring signs from Allah, such as timely advice, sudden inspiration to save, or changes in circumstances that call for action, can prevent a household from benefiting from blessings. Sometimes, a small adjustment, such as reducing waste, repaying a debt promptly, or organizing finances, can lead to exponential improvement in stability and growth. Neglecting these opportunities allows hidden traps to persist, silently reducing the household's capacity to thrive. Awareness and timely action act as preventive measures, creating a protective barrier against financial stress while opening doors for barakah, sustenance, and ease in unexpected ways. Furthermore, repeated exposure to financial mismanagement can condition the mind to accept scarcity or instability as normal. When families become accustomed to living with waste, conflict, or disorganization, their resilience diminishes, and stress becomes part of daily life. This normalization prevents proactive problem solving, weakens financial discipline, and reduces the likelihood of making strategic, faith-aligned decisions. In contrast, cultivating awareness, discipline, and intentional habits strengthens the household, aligns actions with spiritual principles, and prepares the family to respond to opportunities and challenges with wisdom, patience, and trust in Allah. Ultimately, ignoring these financial traps affects not only material well-being, but also spiritual, emotional, and relational health. Awareness, reflection, and proactive measures are essential to prevent small issues from growing into larger burdens, to preserve barakah, and to ensure that wealth serves its intended purpose of comfort, stability, and spiritual growth. Even within the home, where we feel secure and comfortable, Allah provides signs and guidance to protect our wealth and help us avoid hidden traps. Recognizing these signs requires attentiveness, reflection, and a heart connected to Him, because divine guidance often comes in subtle, gentle, and sometimes unexpected ways. Sometimes, the signs appear as feelings of unease when making a purchase, a sudden realization to organize resources, or a quiet suggestion to repay a small debt. Other times, they arrive through the advice of family members, friends, or community members who notice patterns that we may overlook. The Qur'an emphasizes the importance of reflection and attentiveness. Indeed, in that is a sign for those who reflect. Surah Al-Atiyah 45:13, highlighting that those who actively observe, ponder, and act upon guidance are better equipped to protect themselves and their families from harm. Awareness is the first tool for protection. A believer who is mindful of household spending, organization, and patterns of consumption can recognize areas where resources are being wasted or mismanaged. By evaluating purchases, bills, and household habits, one can identify recurring leaks and take preventive action. This conscious reflection transforms ordinary daily tasks into spiritually significant acts of vigilance. It is not enough to simply earn wealth, it must be protected and managed intentionally. This mindfulness serves as a shield, creating an environment in which barakah can flourish and preventing small financial pitfalls from turning into significant burdens. Remembrance of Allah is another essential form of protection. Engaging in prayer, dhikr, and supplication invites divine guidance, strengthens resolve, and reinforces ethical decision-making. Simple acts, such as saying Bismillah before spending or seeking Allah's help in financial planning, serve as spiritual anchors. The Prophet ﷺ taught that seeking refuge in Allah and maintaining regular remembrance protects both the heart and the household from harm, including the subtle influences that can lead to waste, mismanagement, or missed opportunities. These practices cultivate focus, patience, and clarity, allowing the family to navigate financial decisions with awareness and intention. Recognizing Allah's signs also involves observing the outcomes of one's choices. When a household notices patterns, such as overspending leading to stress or disorganization causing missed payments, these are indicators that adjustments are needed. Paying attention to these consequences provides practical insight into areas requiring change, allowing families to act proactively rather than reactively. A timely decision, like reorganizing finances, adjusting consumption habits, or addressing minor debts, can prevent major losses and preserve the blessings of Allah in the home. Awareness of cause and effect, when combined with faith and reflection, transforms everyday management into acts of worship and stewardship. The Prophet ﷺ exemplified this sensitivity to guidance and signs in his own life. He demonstrated awareness of both internal and external cues, avoided situations that could lead to unnecessary difficulty, and guided his companions to act responsibly in financial matters. Following his example, a believer learns to approach the home and household resources with intention, making choices that preserve wealth, foster harmony, and maximize blessings.
Each conscious decision to prevent waste, avoid debt accumulation, and maintain transparency is aligned with divine instruction and safeguards the household from preventable financial challenges. Ultimately, recognizing and acting upon Allah's signs in the home ensures that wealth remains a source of comfort, security, and spiritual growth. Mindfulness, reflection, and remembrance create a protective environment where barakah flows, opportunities are maximized, and subtle financial pitfalls are minimized. By tuning into these signs, engaging in ethical and intentional management, and cultivating awareness of consequences, families create a space in which Allah's guidance is evident, wealth is preserved, and blessings multiply in ways that are both material and spiritual. Trust, surrender, and conscious action are the final pillars in protecting wealth and creating a home that is filled with barakah. Managing money wisely is important, but true protection comes when effort is combined with reliance on Allah, recognizing that ultimately He is the provider and controller of all sustenance. Trust in Allah means believing that He knows what is best for us, that He will provide what we need at the right time, and that His plan is perfect even when circumstances appear challenging. The Qur'an reminds us, and rely upon Allah, and sufficient is Allah, as disposer of affairs. Surah Al-Ahzab 33:3, teaching that while planning, effort and awareness are essential, the heart must remain surrendered, recognizing that results rest in Allah's hands. This trust removes anxiety, strengthens patience, and allows the believer to act with clarity and purpose, rather than impulsiveness or despair. Surrender involves letting go of attachment to immediate outcomes, and accepting that not every financial challenge or opportunity is fully under human control. Sometimes a sudden expense, a delayed payment, or an unexpected loss is actually a form of protection or redirection from Allah. Similarly, unexpected guidance, advice, or insight may come as an opportunity to prevent waste, reorganize finances, or act prudently, offering blessings that might otherwise have been missed. By surrendering to Allah's wisdom, the believer learns to see each event as part of a larger divine plan, understanding that obstacles, delays, or even losses are opportunities to strengthen faith, practice patience, and act responsibly. Surrender does not mean passivity, rather it is an active recognition that effort and trust must coexist. Conscious action complements trust and surrender, translating faith into practical steps that protect wealth and preserve barakah in the home. Intentionality in spending, saving, investing, and organizing resources demonstrates responsibility and aligns everyday decisions with spiritual guidance. Simple acts, such as budgeting, limiting waste, paying off debts promptly, and consulting family members on financial decisions, become forms of worship when done with sincerity and mindfulness. These steps not only prevent hidden losses, but also create an environment of harmony, stability, and preparedness within the home. Conscious action ensures that the heart remains vigilant, the mind focused, and the household aligned with principles that attract blessing and sustenance. Trust and conscious action together cultivate patience and resilience. Managing household finances is not always easy. It requires disciplined planning and sometimes reducing immediate gratification or social pressures. Avoiding unnecessary expenditures, managing debt, and addressing small financial leaks may feel challenging at first, but with trust in Allah and the knowledge that every responsible step is rewarded, the believer can endure temporary discomfort for long-term stability and barakah. These actions build a protective framework, reducing vulnerability to hidden traps and allowing the family to navigate financial challenges with wisdom, cooperation, and faith. Finally, creating a barakah-filled home through trust, surrender, and conscious action positions the household to receive blessings in unexpected ways. When wealth is managed with awareness, ethical responsibility, and alignment with Allah's guidance, resources stretch further, opportunities for growth multiply, and the heart is at peace. The home becomes a sanctuary, not only of comfort, but also of spiritual abundance, where every act of stewardship reflects gratitude, mindfulness, and faith. Trust in Allah ensures that each decision to protect resources, avoid waste, or act on guidance is infused with purpose, opening doors to blessings, sustenance, and opportunities in ways that surpass human calculation and align perfectly with divine timing. All 5 keynotes for the 7 hidden money traps in your home, Allah warned about this, are now fully expanded.